people think he's not the right guy for the job.
I can't speak for those people.
Because you see it on social media. I see fire Topper every time they lose.
No, what I'm going to say is to you is question Topper. Question Topper is absolutely 100% valid because he gives you ammunition every freaking week. But fire Topper, nonsense. And the reason I would say it most of all is because his players would tell you, screw off.
Yeah, they love him.
They would tell you, they would laugh at you. They would listen to someone call up this station and talk about that, or a host thinking that opinion, and they would say, you obviously are completely disconnected from this clubhouse, from understanding what we're about, and not understanding this team.
And now this week is one of those weeks that adds to the fodder where there are people that do the whole, they need to bring in a guy that is rougher. Larry Boa, who I love.
No, and I saw Larry the other night. It looks like he could still manage.
It looks like he can still play. But I'm trying to find the tweet that I got just yesterday. Like, I got a tweet yesterday. That always
makes me just cringe.
Where somebody was saying they need to bring in a more... they didn't say Philly guy.
No.
But that's kind of what they were...
Really?
Kind of what they were saying, yeah.
Really?
There you go, Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob.
Mr. Krabs was wanting a Philly guy.
All right,
need a Philly guy.
There you go, I found it. So this was when Frenchie was on with us yesterday. Jeff Francoeur. You can listen to it on the Fanatic or YouTube. He was great. The quote was, I see a guy that has a great baseball team and is not trying to screw it up, not trying to overthink things, not trying to overmanage. When you have those great players, you simplify. You get the hell out of the way, right? And let these players go play. This is a guy that played baseball for over a decade in Major League Baseball. And Mr. Krabs responds to it saying, as a fan, it sucks seeing a manager with zero emotion. I've always liked Rob and extremely appreciative of what he's done, but I also would like to see him have some heart for the team, maybe walk his ass out and argue for a player.
I got no problem with Mr. Krabs then. I have no problem with that opinion at all.
Remember that game Real Muto struck out looking, and it was a horrible call?
And he just stood there and stared into space?
Like, I was disappointed by that.
That's where Sleepy Rob came from.
But
that's where you can't allow your players to go uncovered. You have to back your players. That's his job. But get your backside kicked out of a game.
But when Mr. Krabs says, as a fan, it sucks seeing a manager with zero emotion.
He has zero emotion.
Yeah, but is that going to keep them from winning something?
No, he didn't say that, though. He didn't say. He says that sucks.
I don't need somebody that gets ejected 6 times a week.
Who says that? He didn't say that. You're taking his opinion and you're skewing it.
Yes, I am.
That's not what he said.
My name's also on the show.
But that's not what he said. You can't take his opinion and make it something that he didn't say. He didn't say that. He thinks in a manager that sits there for the YouTube audience and just stares off into space when players are arguing with officials or a giant play happens in a game and he's staring off into space.
Have we heard that as an issue for anybody? Within the Phillies clubhouse.
I don't care if it is. It's what he prefers as a fan.
All right, but you call him Sleepy Rob, so would you prefer more of that?
Absolutely. I always prefer that the manager should absolutely defend his players to officials. Should be the one who gets in. And you know what? If you get kicked out of a game, you get kicked out of a game. By the way, even though the manager gets fined, teams always find a way to take care of the fine. They always find a way through the back door to take care of it.
John Milton sells some extra cigars.
They do something that the manager gets taken care of.
Yeah.
You got to defend them. You got to say, "Hey, I got your back, guys. I got your back." Remember when Schwarber had to do it a few years ago with the umpire at home plate?
Angel Hernandez.
Yes.
That was an all.
But maybe that's how the team listens, right? They see their players go out there, their fellow players go out there and be the ones that are arguing. Maybe they don't get fired up by their manager doing that.
Maybe it's why this team goes listless, like you said. You made the point earlier in the show. Maybe it's why this team, when one guy goes listless, they all go listless.
Yeah,
maybe it's why this team looks totally glazed over when they start to grip the bats tight.
So then why do you think he's the right man for the job if you're saying all that?
No, you asked the question is, do you think this guy can win it all? I absolutely do. No question. He could win it all. He was up 2-1 in the World Series. He's not a dope. He's not somebody who can't win it all. Sure he could. But if he had just done the smart thing, could he have gotten to a Game 7 in Houston? Sure he could.
You have been upset with his, you always say you would never want him to win a game of Connect Four.
No, I wouldn't pick him in I don't think he's a strategist. I think the things that he does great, though, I think he does great. And I've talked to players in his clubhouse about what kind of leader he is. And I can tell you, if I was on this radio station saying, yeah, Rob Thomson, man, he's not a real good leader. He doesn't really... These guys would literally laugh you off the radio.
Yeah,
they'd be like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I'll always say, look, what he does great, he does great. But it's a personal preference. I want a manager who fights for his players more. And I also don't like it when I think when you're a listless leader, sort of like, it's okay. Yeah. I think your team takes on that personality. The team does take on the personality of its leadership.
Do you think this lineup offensively can win the World Series this year? And now question number 2 with the Phillies. Do you believe Rob Thomson is the right man for the job? Text in, call in, 610-632-0975. We'll check our text line coming up next. Also, we have some Eagles stuff to get to.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for checking out the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel. Thanks for watching our videos. We'd ask you to like and subscribe and check out everything we've got going on at the station. We love having you a part of the family.